Hi friend, and welcome back to another season of Everything is Art. This is a challenge hosted by myself and my partners in crime, Anna and Leanne. If this project sounds like something new to you, it must be that you have not seen our first season of the challenge. We explored the prompt dandelion. I highly recommend that you go watch it, as that video has a full explanation of what our challenge entails. We will function as your guides throughout this challenge. We're basically just here to share some ideas and share our process. This season's prompt is being human. We always encourage you to join us and participate alongside us, whether it be that you're copying one of our ideas that you think really resonates with you. Copying is the best form of flattery. It's also the way that many of us learn. So don't think twice about adopting one of our ideas into your own. And also be sure to share with us if you have any links or any pictures. We'd love to hear about it. And lastly, if you have any recommendations for future prompts that we can use, we would love to hear your one word or one phrase prompts for us to challenge ourselves and you with in the future. So with all that said, I'm going to leave you with past Shanice. And I'll see you on the other side. Let me zoom you out a bit and show you sort of how I mind map, if you will, is something that I like to do whenever I am going to begin a project. Some projects don't require it, but a project like this one, where my goal is to be really thoughtful about the prompt and about the process and about the way that I kind of work through the prompt creatively, then it helps me to create somewhat of a mind map for myself. Sometimes it looks like bullet points, sometimes it just looks like a bunch of words, like keywords, like whatever comes to my mind. And sometimes it becomes even a creative process in and of itself. As you can see, I add color. So here I have some words that came to mind when I thought of humans, and you can feel free to pause and read it. When I was processing the idea of being human as a prompt, so much came to mind because so it's a lot to take on, and so I just wanted to write down the things that felt important to me to address. Something that stands out is, of course, this peace sign. If you're familiar with the level 10 life, then you know that it's something that I've done over the years. It's essentially creating goals for yourself in the areas in your life that mean a lot to you. I was trying to think of a simpler way. So not 10 things, maybe 4 things, which would be myself, my family, work, and whatever else is left to do. And it goes in that order, in me first, then my family, then my work, and then anything else. So that means that whatever doesn't fit into these buckets is my last priority. The goal is to create peace for ourselves through our schedules, hence the peace sign. Here I just had a little bit of a meditation about things that inevitably might come up for you, certainly did come up for me, and hopefully that in this process you allow yourself, as I have, the time to sit with it and allow it to exist, and also give it a place to live and let it live there. And you can visit it from time to time, but you don't have to sit in maybe these negative spaces for longer than necessary. And then lastly, on the bottom, I have some ideas of ways that I thought I might try to process the prompt creatively. I'm going to show you some of the things that I pulled. Maybe they will be some ideas for you to consider when you're doing your own meditation into this season's prompt. The first thing that I have here are just some photos. I just wanted to have like some different versions of myself through life, and maybe have that be in the background of my mind or even as inspiration for a particular spread. I love a starry night sky. I got this eye. I've had it in my stash for a while, and I don't know how or if I will use it, but it's here. I like this image because part of being human is that at times it can be messy. So this might be a background for a spread, or maybe just a page in itself. I'm considering this one as the cover of my little journal, because what is more human than our hands? This is from a paper bag from a restaurant or salad place or something, but I love that it says it's all good. This diamond infinity sign. I like this image because it's got 3 women here. But there are these 3 women in my life that have been just so great and so giving of their time and their headspace. And so I wanted to kind of celebrate that. Clouds for dreaming, because what are humans if not dreamers? Lips for speaking things that need to be said. Kerry Washington is just beautiful, and I love the pose here. I'm not sure how I would use it, but I feel like her wardrobe and her pose is a canvas, so maybe that. I like this background. This paper came from an Amazon order. I cannot get rid of it, so I usually just like flatten it and fold it and wait for something. I think it's safe to say that many of us have had an unpleasant reaction to our own self. Not always liking what the mirror reflects, cringing at the sound of our voices, spending hours overthinking things that we've said, and hiding parts of ourselves that feel unworthy. Yet for as much or as often as we have these feelings, we seldom dissect them to understand why. Thanks to years of therapy, I, for one, am always asking myself why. For the record, I try not to give too much weight to what others think of me, but because I've experienced complex trauma, this is hard work. Feeling unsafe and afraid in my childhood created in me the need for people to be happy with me. My insecurity and my self-esteem eroded to the point of not understanding my own value. It is truly difficult for me to see myself. But then again, do any of us ever truly see ourselves? And are we even meant to? Humanity is everything that makes us who we are, the star parts and the pollution. Maybe not seeing ourselves allows us to see others. Honoring the beauty in them honors the beauty in us. Seeing beauty in each other helps us to gravitate towards one another, whether it's a smile, the shape of eyes, the sound of laughter, a witty point of view, a talent or skill, generosity, love, peace. This challenge has now seen me do a deep introspective dive into my spirit, and perhaps more so this season of summer. Summer awakens nature and all of our senses. Summer beckons us outside, unguarded and unshielded by winter's layers. Summer is a release. In this season, I'm releasing harsh judgment of myself due to the pain caused by others directly or indirectly. I'm going to acknowledge negative inner dialogue and challenge it with helpful dialogue. I'm honoring my person for all the darkness she has endured while still shining light for others. I'm releasing fear and doubt. I'm imagining myself a giant. I am safe. I am capable. I am healing. And to my inner child, I would say, none of it was your fault. None of it was under your control. Just because it hurt doesn't mean you're broken. Not only are you whole, but you are free and you are safe. Okay, so it's way past my bedtime. Everyone is asleep. I decided to go and make a simple book plate that says being human. Inside, we have my thoughts on being human. Next to it, I thought it was fitting to have that magazine image of the stars and Neil deGrasse Tyson's quote, which I may have butchered, but I was too tired to Google. We are all made of star stuff. I love that. I decided to fill this page by seeing what the AI wisdom around us was. Obviously, humans are so complex that AI is probably never going to be able to define us, but it's still interesting to see. In this space, it felt really appropriate for me to put this person, and I just simply added some jelly roll, like little minor marks, just to make it pop a little bit. Next, I have an old-ish picture of myself. I think this is like, I don't know, 2018 maybe. And then that mantra of mine of leading with love. I put this image of Reese Witherspoon. I like the way that she's looking sort of beyond. Let me get you a little closer. And I just put this little caption that says, slow is still forward. And the reason why I put Reese Witherspoon here is because I folded this printout of my meditation around this prompt and how I got around it. I think I already told you this, but you are also welcome to pause and read. But since I folded it and it was blank in the back, I just used her like pensive sort of image to make better use of that like white space. It's just kind of like a bit too stark in comparison. On the other side, I did leave it blank, and so there is opportunity for journaling either here or on the back of what turned out to be this journaling card. I did add a little caption that I typed up and printed out. Here, I just use a little envelope that I had in my stash, and I stuck a picture of my childhood self in front of it with a tiny little message that says, "Dear little Shanice, I love you always." I don't think I've ever said that to myself, so that was nice. And then inside I have a letter to my childhood self. I will keep this one private because it is a little bit more than I would like to share, but it was great to get it out of my system and say some things that I think she needed to hear. To be honest with you, this was just like a blank page that I wanted to fill, but I did have this image. I like that it says roses aren't always red. I feel that's also fitting with the theme that I've got going on here, and so I just wrote noted because that's a fact. In that postcard that I had shown earlier, I just decided to write a caption of my own that says, "Judgment is the pastime of fools." In this stage of my life, I'm realizing that judging others is really more of a detriment to myself and my own emotional energy, and I would rather save that up for the good stuff. In the back, I just ask the question, who am I? Have I ever known? I think that's kind of like the eternal question, like the eternal journey that we're always on, trying to, become who we are meant to be. And just when we think that we're there, there's still more becoming that happens somehow. So I'm not sure that we ever know for sure. And then I thought, maybe we're only meant to know who we want to be. Maybe we're only meant to be striving to be better. I'm not sure. I don't have the answer. I am up for any of your suggestions. And I just thought this was like a funny picture to put with it. Here are my hands, which I really love. And then I took a little snippet from that typed situation here, and then just kind of made that into a caption. Humanity is everything that makes us who we are, the star parts and the pollution. It's a true story, because the pollution is there because we put it there. Okay, and then I have my within my control and outside of my control, aka the within without. And so inside of my very simple drawing of a person, I wrote all of the things that are within my control, and then here we have the things that are outside of my control. And then we have that infinity, which ironically, I don't love how this spread turned out, considering I was so excited to use this diamond infinity sign, but it still did what it was meant to do, and so I still consider it a success. And then here, I really just came up with like 6 sort of generic statements. It's a little bit less than what I had hoped to compile, but it is a start, and considering it makes me really uncomfortable, I think that it was actually a really good start. So we have that, and then I just used like a Sharpie, and then I outlined it with a Jelly Roll. This font, I've been obsessed with it. I've been doing it all over my commonplace notebook. And then I kind of matted this picture that I printed just on my printer. Like, this is nothing in this journal is going to last very long, I don't think. But I wanted to sort of mat it with some white printer paper behind it, just to get it to pop up more. And then around it, I just wrote, growth is not only measured in numbers, it is also measured in empathy and grace. You can quote me on that. Here is my postcard for my tribe gratitude for the 3 ladies that I mentioned earlier. I have not done the journaling in the back. That can be at some other time. And then lastly, we have It's All Good, which originally when I showed you this, it was in the front. And then I realized that I had actually started using the journal upside down, so it became the back. And I think whether it's in the front or the back, it's still great. I would have preferred it in the front, TBH, but it is what it is. And I think it maybe is what ties it all together. It's all good. It's all just part of our lives. What I've tucked inside this little Target dollar spot see-through pocket, if you know, you know, is that zine that I had showed you. And so here it is. It is a little bit of a short story about me. I am of Puerto Rican descent. I was born in New York, in Brooklyn. And when I was around 9 or 10, we moved to Puerto Rico for about 4 years. So this is sort of like if the Brooklyn Bridge could take me to Puerto Rico, which we all know. And if you didn't know, you better ask somebody. That's not how you get to Puerto Rico, okay? You gotta take an airplane, okay? I'm only saying it because some have asked. I'm not lying. Okay, and then here we are in Puerto Rico, if you will, and this is an illustration of a swing that my grandmother had put onto one of the trees in front of the house, and I used to sit there many an afternoon and eat snacks and play games and draw and sing songs. After 4 years, I came back to New York and went to high school, and after high school, I started my first job at the Gap, which is where I met my husband. We worked at the Gap at the World Trade Center together, and we were both seasonal hires. And after many years of dating, long story short, we got married, and now I live in Chicago. That was a big jump, I know, but it was my first zine. So at least I'm happy that it's got a home, it's not hiding. And that's that, friend. This is the longest video ever. If you watched it to the end, please comment and let me know that you saw everything. And tell me if anything resonated with you, if anything gave you any food for thought. Also tell me if you think that you might be participating in the challenge this time around. It's never late. It is a seasonal challenge. You have 3 months to participate. You can start whenever you want. You don't have to start with dandelion if you don't want to. You can start here, or you can do dandelion as well. But I would love to see it. Tag me, send me a DM, do whatever you gotta do, send me a bat signal. And be sure to watch the videos of the other ladies. And I wanted to add my dear, lovely Gemma. She is a subscriber to this channel, and she is also on Instagram. I will add her information so that you can go check her out. She created something so spectacular for the dandelion prompt that I had to ask her to please make it public on her channel so that I could share it with you guys. Really, absolutely beautiful, hands down. You must go see it. Thanks again, friend. Until next time, bye. My first time buying the Drew Barrymore magazine, I have a feeling it's going to be a really good time. In looking for photos of myself there, I realized two things. A lot of times I would rather have like a candid shot where I'm not paying attention, because if I am paying attention, I'm probably going to be silly.